For a change, I went and watched a new movie today. I went to the theater and watched Mockingjay Part 2. So, let's review what I think of the first three movies. The first movie was enjoyable and I liked it, but to be honest, it wasn't very well made. There was a lot of mistakes in it. They always said when someone dies, the cannon will go off. Then sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. They built up and built up and built up how important it is for the capital people to like you. And without their help, you'll never make it. You need these packages. You need it, you need it, you need it. And they spent half the movie telling you this and then never used it. She was sent 2 packages the whole time, and one was for PETA. So yeah, that part upset me. They built up so much something they never used. The second movie I've reviewed before. It's on my other channel. I'll link that down in the description. It's a pumped up version of the first movie with lots of references to the first movie that some of them I honestly didn't really remember. But it was still good. It was a bigger, better version of the first one with a lot less mistakes. The third one did a lot of tell, not a lot of show. They showed you the effects of all these attacks, but they never actually showed you many of the attacks. They just showed like 2 scenes of people getting shot, and then you walk into the town and everything's blown to pieces. I would have liked to see that. And it's a lot of build up to this movie. The third movie was trying to get you to this movie. So on to this movie. First scene they mess up. First scene! They show her getting her throat checked. She was injured in the end of the first part, so they show her getting checked out, and they tell her, well, we're going to go talk to PETA, but we don't want to start with you. We're going to show them other people from District 12, see how he adapts to being out of capital control. She shows up, throat's no longer damaged, no longer black, she can talk fine. It was just a time skip that was never explained. This happens a lot in the movie. There's a lot of skips in time that are never announced. They just like show a girl who was bald earlier in the movie now has like 4 inches of hair. It was summer, now it's snowing. And they don't explain to you that it's months later. Anytime they need to skip ahead in the book, they just bop Katniss on the head, put her in a coma, and she wakes up to later in the book. And it's really weird. I never read the book, so I don't know how it was handled in the book, but it's really weird in practice in the movie. They just skip ahead, and you're like, why does she have hair? Why is it snowing? How long was she unconscious? There's also this other scene in the movie, try not to spoil it too much, but they run into this building trying to escape an oil trap. Then they run out of the building, go across the street because enemy forces are coming. Enemy forces blow up the building, and the Capitol announces that Katniss has been killed. They have footage of her running into the building, and they have footage of them blowing up the building. I think to myself watching the movie, oh, it's just a Capitol trick. They're trying to rally support for themselves from the city of the Capitol people. Nope, they didn't know she was alive. How did they not have footage of her leaving the building? They just calmly walk right out the entrance and go across the street. How do they not have that footage? Explain that to me, because it's driving me nuts. I can't figure it out. It's just such a big plot hole. It bothers me. Overall, they again build up a lot to the action, but at least this time they show it. There's a couple huge fight scenes and a couple big exciting parts in it this time. But PETA's character, they should have killed PETA. Let me just say it. PETA is a hindrance this entire movie, and everything would have went a lot smoother if they did just shot the fucker in the head 20 minutes in. They realize he's not being helpful. They should have just killed him. Also, Katniss's opinion towards killing people seems to just snap. She's like, no, killing people is so wrong. Why must war be so brutal? And then PETA calls her fat, and boom, I'm going to go assassinate Snow. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to betray everyone in my mission for murder. And it's just such a big change. And then PETA shows up and stops her from doing that. And she should have just said, you know what, fuck you, beat it. I'm gonna go kill me some Donald Sutherland, and shot him in the head and gone with her mission. But she doesn't do that because Gale is destined to be lonely and sad. So maybe you'll hook up with that chick with half a haircut and just stop pining for Katniss. That's how I think things happened. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time. I did enjoy this movie as much as I rip on it. It's actually pretty enjoyable. There's a bunch of decent action scenes. There's some character development for the minor characters. And if you've seen the other ones, you gotta finish the quadrilogy. This movie gets 6.5 real or not real posters, reference to the movie. And mostly because its character development is limited to the minor characters. The major characters pretty much go on their own path. But Katniss flip-flops so much, seems to rarely know what's going on. Even when people tell her, she still doesn't understand 5 minutes later. And it leaves so much out from the books that someone who's never read them can notice.